Hi everybody. Hope everything's going well with everybody and everybody's off to a good start here with the beginning of the semester. Um, Been few busy days for me anyway. I tried to get as much as I could done here on my first video blog with some of my activities. So I went to a few different meetings and then participated in a couple different activities that I'll kind of go over here in my first video blog for AEP 879. Activity 1 that I thought I would share was I went to a district-wide in-service. This actually was the day before this class officially started, but I figured it would probably count toward one of these activities. Basically, our in-service on that day was about school preparedness and safety, and we had a couple guys from Topeka come down to our school, and the whole district, everybody that was employed with the district, whether it was cooks, principals, teachers, classified staff, attended this meeting. Since we didn't have any space big enough, half of the district got the presentation in the morning and the other half of the district got it in the afternoon. But basically, I kind of linked this in-service up with ISLLC standard number 3, simply because, once again, the in-service was about safety and preparedness, and the two guys really shed some light on how schools are vulnerable, especially schools out in even rural western Kansas, where you wouldn't think that any incidents or anything like that would take place. But there was a lot of good information that they shared, and it was probably one of the better in-services that we had. They shed some light on the school, the building itself, some issues that we might have with some of our building here at the high school, how there's no barricades around doors that people could drive cars right into them if we wanted to. They shed some light on how to deal with an intruder or a gunman if they did enter the building. You're supposed to lock your doors, shut off all the lights, move students to a corner of the room that can't be seen from the door or any window if possible. Also, making sure cell phones are either shut off or on silent, because if a gunman's walking the hallways and they hear a cell phone go off, they'll know that there's somebody in those rooms. So anyway, very informative. Another aspect of the in-service, I guess, was something that don't really maybe consider or think about all that much, and that was also fire and tornadoes or any sort of natural disaster, and how to deal with those sorts of happenings if they were to happen in your building. So anyway, once again, that was activity 1. That was a district-wide in-service. Activity 2, here within our district, we have a facility needs committee, and this facility needs committee has been organized for a little over a year now, and basically they're looking into what the facility needs are for our district, including sports equipment and sports fields. Also, mainly they're kind of looking at buildings in our district. I attended this meeting on January 24th. It was at 7 in the morning, so it was actually before the school day started, and it was located at our district board office where all our school board meetings are held. On this committee, there's a person from the Hays Daily News. There's a couple of board members on this committee. The Hays Medical Center has a committee member on there as well. Chamber of Commerce has a committee member. So there's a lot of fairly influential people throughout the community that serve on this facility needs committee. And basically the recommendation is they want to shut down a couple buildings within our district, move them to other sites, and then possibly add on or build a new building or two to house, especially like central office and those sorts of offices and buildings, simply because the building that our central office is located out of now, a lot of the buildings kind of useless. It's too large. It's multi-leveled, so once again there's some floors in the building that don't necessarily get used all that much, plus energy bills and things like that to keep the building energy efficient. really aren't being used all that well either. So once again, there was some talk about building a new high school. I guess we'll see what happens. The faculty needs committee really, even though they discussed it, I don't think there's a lot of hope right now within Hayes that voters would pass any sort of bond issue right now. We already have one of the higher mill levies in the state of Kansas, and we had some budget issues, which I'll talk about when I get to my fourth activity. So once again, Activity 2, Facility Needs Committee meeting, which I also linked with ISLLC Standard number 3. Activity 3, last weekend I worked and helped administer a wrestling tournament here at the high school. It was a two-day tournament. It's called the Bob Kuhn Senior Prairie Classic here at the high school. So I counted this as a school level or a secondary level activity. Basically, this wrestling tournament consisted of about 28 teams, and there was about 300 wrestlers. Kind of working with our athletic director a little bit and helping out where I needed to be helping out. A lot of preparation goes into activities like this. I mean, obviously we think about the wrestlers, but there's a lot of other people, parents setting up admissions. There's also hospitality rooms for wrestlers, coaches, another hospitality room for cheerleaders, officials, those sorts of things. So making sure that you have all those areas ready to go can be a little time consuming and tedious as well. Making sure that you have enough officials, making sure that you have workers for scorekeeping, for clock, making sure that you have people to work with injury issues. Here at Hayes we have high planes to the hospital that come and make sure and sit through the tournament as well, to make sure that if any kid needs medical attention, that they can get medical attention. Once again, 2-day event. It's something that, once again, I think most people and our athletic director kind of admitted that everyone's happy when it's over, just because of all the time and preparation that goes into it, and then the actual working of it can be fairly hectic as well. But one of the other issues is, wrestling tournaments can become fairly loud, so making sure that parents and fans of schools and of particular wrestlers are adhering by the rules and displaying sportsmanship and things like that is something that administration kind of has to keep an eye over and make sure that all fans are following a certain code of conduct. The fourth activity, last Monday we had a Board of Education meeting, January 27th. The board meeting was kind of doom and gloom, I guess, a little bit. Here in Hayes, our district is facing about a $214,000 shortfall on the budget this year, and that is even with using $300 and some thousand dollars. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but that's using all contingency money as well. So the school board meeting, we had a audit group come in and they audited our school, and basically this group, Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball was the group. We had 2 people from that business that came in and basically went over the audit report with the school board, and once again there are some issues there with our budget since we are short, but they went over like textbook fees, rentals, how schools have been paying for those lately if they don't have like all the money up front. Superintendent also addressed some issues that could possibly save the district in the future. Basically those things were like just budgeting better. The last few years we haven't budgeted all that well, and it's led to some money not being there when the district needed it to be there. By the way, we do have a new superintendent, so those things might be changing here over the next year or two, and some things are changing right now. But anyway, just some other things. They talked about conserving energy. Another issue was 7th grade sports wasn't put into the budget last year for some reason, which was $50,000 or $60,000. Our school enrollment was down from what it was supposed to be, so that caused some issues there as well. So school board meeting, like I said, it was kind of doom and gloom just because people realized just how bad the budget was and the shortfall that our district is experiencing this year. And there's a lot of spending freezes that are being put into place. Custodians can't work overtime. A lot of Rule 10 coaches. There might be some cutbacks on coaches and stuff like that in our district as well. So that was the 4th activity I did. Look forward to hearing some of your guys' responses and seeing what all you guys have been doing here over the past week or so. Thank you.